Oh, good morning. My thought for today, what do we do the most, us foreigners, with our Filipino when we first come here? Or even really, even when we're here? What mistakes do we make? It's not that we're hiding stuff from people, but the one thing that we seem to not understand at the start is that, yes, they see us as millionaires, money growing on trees. And those that understand the majority of Filipinos, and I say that in a general sense, you know, you watch the game shows here and they give away 5,000 pesos on Family Feud to a member in the audience and they go, wow, crazy. What happened to that 5,000? Most of the time, I guarantee it's spent on happy moments. Maybe some given to the parents, some to the brother, and the rest buying food so everyone can enjoy it. The money represents good times, freedom, a feeling of maybe excitement. What does money mean to you? Holding on to it, being careful what you spend it on. Do you see what I mean? We see money in a different context. The other day, you get your pension, transfer it over to Wise. Before you do that, of course, you remember what you got for it last 4 weeks ago. And you notice you're getting less today. So what do? You wait. Learn to wait. Be patient. Because the rate will go back up again. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe Monday. But when it does, boop, you get it. Now why? Because maybe you're losing 500, 1,000 pesos on the exchange rate. Now you might say, what a cheapskate. Worried about 1,000 pesos difference? Yes, I'm living in the Philippines. So for me to think in those terms, do I want to give away 2 days' salary for an average construction worker? Or do I want to wait and get those 2 days for myself? Why? Because that's maybe 2 visits to McDonald's to have spare of the moment food. Again, oh, what a tightwad. No, we have to think in Filipino money. We can't keep looking at things and saying, oh, that's only $2.50, or that's only $5, or that's only $500. No, it's not. It's times whatever the exchange rate is. So when you look at the TV and you say, wow, look at that, 12,000 pesos for a little TV, color, and of course it's color, but a smart TV, 14,000. Can we afford it? Of course we can, but do we buy it? That's the question. 14,000. Can we afford to waste that much? What's wrong with the one that's there already? We have to ask these questions because many Filipinos actually hoard. They buy stuff that they really don't need. And we are just the same. We buy these things for our loved ones, and they very rarely ever use them. I can recall buying an automatic washing machine and being told it's too complicated, doesn't wash properly. And yet, a twin tub, LG twin tub or a brand name, another brand, they wash okay. No, they don't. They don't do any different than an automatic. Automatic goes through all the cycles, soaking, pre-soaking, washing, rinsing, spinning out. twin tub, you put in all your mush, wait for it to go through the little cycle, and in the end, you put it in the spinner, and there you are. What's the difference? The difference is maybe 10,000 pesos. Now, which one do they use? The twin tub. So guys, don't waste your money on stuff that you think you need when they know they don't. You think they use toasters? Do you think they toast their bread? If they want to toast their bread, they'll do it over the stove, over the fire. But we've taught them into liking toast. They're not necessarily buying bread. They're happy with pandesal. That a guy coming down the road or calling into the bakery where it is made, that's what they're used to. The problem is that when we come to the Philippines, we tend to surround ourselves with familiar objects. We surround ourselves with the idea that we need all those things to have a good life, when we haven't really tried living like they do. You think we don't eat properly? Of course we do. You don't think that we do the washing up the same way as a dishwasher? Yes, we do it differently, in the sense that we don't have to press a button. We just have to stand in front of a sink and wash them. Do we leave them drip drying like they do? Or do we dry them with a towel and put them all away? Does it matter? Really? No, it doesn't. You know, becoming Filipino or adapting to the Filipino lifestyle is all about being reset in your life to what is familiar around you, not what you bring to the table, not what you create in a world that you're now living in. Because as you add to all of those experiences, you add to the expectation, and you also add to the expectation of what they now are used to. Imagine being in Australia or England or America, living your life as you think the way it should be, and then suddenly discovering no wages, no salary, back to scraping, back to wondering where the next meal is going to come from. That's what many Filipinos have to worry about. That's why they might feel a little insecure. That's why you might find it difficult to understand why they behave the way they do. Why they get excited at small things when you want to buy them big things. Guys, we know you have a big heart. Certainly got a big wallet as far as they're concerned. But we need to remember, think like your partner does. Keep things humble. Keep things within a framework of some form of self-control. Because it's great to have a pension paid in your bank account every month. But don't try and spend it all, because they will. If you tell them how much you're getting, they do a mental arithmetic. Don't think they don't know. They will, if it's 80,000, it'll all be gone. You know, remember the people that live from one pay pack to the next? They're just the same. They've got nothing till they get paid on Saturday, if they're in construction. Or they don't have anything at the last few weeks of a month. Or maybe even the last few days of a fortnight. So guys, think frugal. Don't think big. Stay within a budget. Yeah, not that kind of budget, but just in your mind. If you get 80, 120, 200 every month, that's more than you need to live here. You can have a pretend lifestyle, like as if you're back there in New York City or London. We can buy cheese and crackers and sit by the TV and eat them. But it's a luxury. We take it for granted overseas that we can go to the supermarket and buy our favorite brand of cheese. For us to experience the same, it is a luxury. I buy cheese, 240, 290 for a 250 gram. That's pretty reasonable in my mind. Why? Because it's a couple of evenings of sitting having cheese and crackers while you watch Countdown or Family Feud on TV. It's all about lifestyle and realizing that you can have a good lifestyle here without spending a great deal of money. That's my thought for today. Bye now.